Hello flatties and globe defenders. And of course the big news is the Antarctic flight from a couple of days ago. And I took a little bit of video on board, just little snippets here and there, and I'm going to show them to you in this video. So I hope you enjoy this, and the pictures of the Antarctic ice and data analysis are coming in whenever that's going to be ready. The pictures of the Antarctic ice won't be too long, but the data analysis will take a little bit longer. But right now, sit back and enjoy some aspects of the flight. What do we got here?
I don't see this. It's recording magnetic field, pressure, radiation, altitude, temperature, GPS. Oh, look at that. Recording all of this?
Yep, all of it's being recorded.
So where are you guys from?
Curtin University.
What are you studying there?
So we're actually working there. We're actually a technical team for the physics department at Curtin.
Yeah. And what's this a study for the benefit of who?
Well, at this stage we don't really have a plan for the experiment. We're just collecting data.
Right.
That'll be available to anyone who would like it.
Okay.
Feel free to contact us. And
Yeah.
we'll send you the data.
You can take my name, that's for sure.
In other words, you're on a junket, aren't you?
Sorry?
In other words, you're on a junket.
We're doing friendly education and stuff, so because I was students today,
Nothing really trying to work at university.
That's right.
pretty happy with it, so yeah. Yep. So it's a magnetic sensor.
So hi guys, here we are again, and I know you're from Curtin University and you know a little bit about science, and I'd just like your opinion about, do you think that the Earth is a globe or flat, and why would you think that?
Alright, so I'm happy to go on the record for Curtin Physics and say we think it's a sphere. we think we're living on a globe.
You think, but you know, there must be something that you know why.
Yeah, so there are a few things that tell us why this is. One of them is the way that sound waves travel. So when we look at sound waves traveling through the Earth, we can actually measure them going from one side of the sphere to the other side of the sphere. And we can actually use that to tell us a lot of things about what is under the surface through that globe.
Right.
Another basic thing is obviously gravity. New theory of gravity really only works for us if we're on a large globe. Among that, you know, there's obviously the, you know, when we use a telescope and we point it out to the stars, that also tells us we're a globe, because we don't look at the horizon and see, you know, every other country that's sort of to the left of us.
So what was your main expertise again? What did you say you did?
My degree is in physics.
Physics? Okay. And you measure sound waves, so do you?
So that is one of the ways that you can tell. It's a very simple way that you can tell the way.
Right, thank you. Anybody else want an opinion, or what do you think about people who might think the Earth is flat?
Well, I think the flat earthers are a good society for challenging science. And there is, I believe that there are actually some scientists who are also flat earthers. But the what we see today. But in reality, we come up with so many issues with the Earth being flat that most scientists just look at it as an entertaining thought bubble.
What do you think about the idea that gravity doesn't exist, that things only fall because of buoyancy and density?
Never heard that one.
I don't even understand how that makes sense.
I don't understand it either.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense in any sort of context. So, sorry, no.
I am looking forward to seeing if there's a wall though.
Yes, the ice wall. We're looking for the ice wall today. Yes, and the penguins that guard it. Yes, that's right.
For the record, I don't think we'll see it, but
We'll keep an eye out just in case. We'll look for it.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you.
Aircraft, and you'll get to hear a bit more of me from the cockpit later on once we're over the ice. But we are approaching it. There are a few breaks that have been out again in the cloud, and I've already seen one or two smallish icebergs. Nothing particularly large yet. What really tends to happen around Antarctica is once the icebergs move out into the open ocean like this, they get battered and pushed around by the waves and the currents and the winds, and they melt away pretty quickly. They may last only a matter of weeks or months if they're small ones. Some of the much larger ones, of course, can survive a lot longer, and I'll let you know a bit more about that as we get closer. So as Buzz said, my history is in Antarctica. I've done 6 winters. I've wintered at Mawson, Davis and Macquarie Island. Macquarie, the jewel of the Southern Ocean. All beautiful places, all distinctly unique, as everywhere in Antarctica is. I've been to Casey, Australia's understation, and I've done a lot of work on tourist ships. I've taken my wife down, and she talks about Antarctica even more than I do these days, which is a great blessing, because she used to glaze over and not listen too much when I started talking about the winters that we've done. Well, winter is a beautiful thing to do in Antarctica. The lights in the skies are just fantastic. You think of the best place you've been to see the most beautiful sunsets you can think of, with beautiful pinks and blues and lilacs and lemons in the sky, and then get that stretched out and make it last for 4 or 5 hours instead of 10 or 15 minutes, as usually happens where most of us come from. That's the sort of impression you get of an Antarctic evening.
Have our meals, kitchen, and what happens is during the week, one person out of the whole team is called upon to be what they call a slushy. So he or she goes into the kitchen and assists the chef for that 1 week during the winter. And then on the Saturday night, that's the last. The chef cooks the meals. He or she then has the Sunday off.